Welcome to the Grieving Sisters. I'm Jessica, and today we have a special co-host. Liz is out sick, so we have a special co-host, my girl C. This is my girl C, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Is this your first pod?
It is.
Oh,
it is my first podcast.
Okay. I love this. How's the nerves?
I'm good.
You're
I've
good.
done a lot of public speaking, so
Okay.
I'm not nervous for that part of it.
Sure.
But, it's a special conversation, so
Yeah.
I'm honoring it as best I can.
Absolutely. Go ahead. You can introduce yourself.
So, my name is Ciara. I'm a director of finance by day, a mom,
Mhm.
trades.
Yes.
I love life. I'm big into my faith, and I'm just here to share my story and hopefully help someone who is in a similar scenario.
Right. So basically it's we're going to be discussing about healing the father wound, like forgiveness with grief and growth. And I think this was such an interesting the fact that like you had messaged me with it. I said to myself, oof. I said, now I feel seen, right? Because my dad's year, obviously, guys, we're recording this in November.
Yeah.
My dad's year is for 11/11. And the fact that you had said that, and just a little bit behind there, behind your story, you were just saying how, your relationship with him. And I was just like, okay, I feel really seen. So I thought this was such an important conversation to have, especially when it comes to estrangement with parents. And, there's so many layers to it. I also try to keep therapy or therapeutic terms. Like I try to keep, I do this for a living. So
of course,
I don't want to kind of bombard people with the terminology. So I try to be as, I want to say human, not professional, right? Like obviously I'm professional, but like in the professional way.
Yeah.
However, I feel like this was a very special, just kind of piggybacking off of what you were saying, that this is a very special conversation. So tell me about like your dad, tell the audience about like,
Sure.
your story.
So my parents separated when I was really young. I must have been 2 or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And shortly after that, my mom and I moved to the United States. My mom came here first. And my dad was in Dominican Republic for most of my childhood.
Right.
And obviously he was present, for birthdays and Christmas and not in the physical sense, but always made me feel seen.
Sure.
However, there's something to be said about when you are raised in the same home with a parent. So our relationship was, you're my dad. I love you because you're my dad.
Right.
I didn't really know him as a person.
Sure.
And I didn't get to experience him as a human being. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Right. Because we don't look at them that way. We look at them like they're God.
Exactly. And
they're our first gods.
Yeah. And when you're young, especially, you idolize your parents.
That's it.
Right? Like you just think that they're the
perfect.
best of the best.
Yeah.
And also not having my dad in my home allowed me to create an image of who I thought he was. Right? Like this perfect, amazing dad who always sent me handwritten cards and all of these things. And as I got older, I realized that there was a gap in our relationship. Not because I didn't feel like he didn't care about me, but more so of like, I don't really know you.
Right.
And obviously that continued to grow and grow and grow the older I got.
Right.
Especially when I was a teenager.
Right.
Because I feel like when you're a teenager, one, you're realizing that your parents are human.
Sure.
In the worst and best way.
Right.
And also, I just wanted more, and especially a girl
wanting her
loves
dad. Yeah.
It's like the first time that you're like, you have your little crushes and you're trying to identify what love is. And all of the things. So I feel that 12, 13 was really when something in me shifted. And we had a difficult conversation, me and him at that age. And something in me just really became angry. And that continued to grow.
That resentment. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. There was just milestones. I was a really good student. My mom, was a hard worker and she really did everything possible to give us a great life, my sister and I, my younger sister and I. And I just felt like he was just not there.
Right.
I have 4 other sisters from my dad's side that I adore and I love. And we were always close. We weren't raised in the same home, but our mothers made sure, and our dad too, whenever he could, to always build the bridge and keep us connected. So I'm very grateful for that. I always say that the best gift my dad gave me was my sisters. because
So sweet.
they're everything, and I'm really grateful for them.
Right.
But as I got older, I just couldn't understand him. And I guess I didn't understand him because I had nothing to pull from.
Right.
I didn't live with him, so I didn't have memories to say, okay, well, I don't really like you right now, but I remember you took me to get ice cream. So
Yeah.
like, you're cool.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a memory bank to pull from.
Right.
And
plus he was in DR.
Right. And then he moved to Vegas. So he, yes. So my dad worked in the casino industry most of his life.
Sure.
And that's where him and my mom met, actually, in the Dominican Republic. And then he moved to Las Vegas and he lived out there for some time, and he remarried, and, a lot went on there. But I never had him like in the same state.
Right.
Except when he came to visit. So it was just always kind of like, okay, I love you, you're my dad. I love you because you're my dad. And I respect you because you're my dad. And my mom always made sure, like, no matter how you feel, no matter anything, that's your father. You respect him.
That's
if
it.
he calls, you pick up. If he wants to see you, you're gonna see him.
That's right.
All of those things. And I really commend my mom for being such a amazing bridge as well. To making sure that my relationship with my dad stayed as good as it could be.
Sure.
Fast forward, he came to my high school graduation, and it felt wonderful to have him there. But even for all my friends to meet my dad for the first time. Wow. Many of them probably didn't even know he existed.
They were probably like, who's that
man? Right. So that was also kind of like a difficult, I want to say, or challenging experience, because it just didn't feel natural. Right.
Yeah.
And then as I continued to get older and I got pregnant with my son, parenthood was completely redefined for me.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't understand at the time how a parent will not want to spend every moment with their child.
Same. I not only did I feel that so hard right now, like, that is truly the realest question that I have. Like, how do, when you see these crazy stuff on social media, like a parent killing their child, or just even any person putting their hand, like, how in your right mind, you got mental illness, fine, whatever the case may be, but it's not excusable. Yeah. And especially your own child. Why would you want to hurt your own child?
Right.
Not even physically.
Emotionally.
Correct.
Right. Because absence hurts too.
Correct.
Right.
Well, and then he's in Vegas. So I definitely feel you on that too, because like me and we lived in the same state, and he never reached out. I always called him, and I always felt like I always called him because I needed money or I wanted to run away from home. Right. Yeah. Like, all right, well, I don't want to stay home anymore. Yeah. Like, mommy's getting on my nerves, so I'm going to go live with my dad. And, unbeknownst to me, you know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't have been the easiest transition.
Of course. Because we don't know what we don't know, right?
Right. Like, you think it's much better.
Of course. And
because we idolize them.
Of course. And again, you have nothing, unfortunately, when you're not living with that parent, you're just imagining the good.
Yes.
It's going to be so much greater over there on that side.
No
so much better than here. No annoying mom.
That's right.
Like all of the things that we make up in our minds. So when I got pregnant with my son, and I really wanted there to be a shift in our relationship. I really wanted him to have a relationship with my son.
Right.
And that just didn't happen in the way that I imagined. And I was a little heartbroken by that.
Because you had expectations.
I did. And I just couldn't understand. And I also was really young when I got pregnant with my son. I still had a lot of, emotional development to do. And
as we all do. We're all having the human experience at this point.
Right. And I don't think I had the grace within me to understand that everyone's just doing the best they can.
That's it.
It wasn't against me. Like,
right.
My dad, I know, loved me and loved my sisters. His actions were not a reflection of him not loving us.
Right.
They were a reflection of him not loving
himself. Correct.
Yeah. And I think that was such a great lesson that I learned so many years later.
Right.
So, after my son was born and I saw that there really was no shift, no real bond between us, it became easier and easier to kind of like separate myself.
Yeah.
And I kept in touch with him. Like I said, I'm very close with my sisters, and my sisters are, we're a big part of my dad's life as well. And I don't know, I just felt like, okay, I love you, you're my dad. Like, right. I love you, you're my dad.
Right.
Out of respect.
Right.
But I never got to know him, even as an adult. So fast forward.
You becoming his caretaker. So
the crazy part of life is that, the power of words and what you say out loud.
Right.
So December of 2018. My mom hosts like a vision board party. She's always hosted them since I was little.
She's so cute.
And
Love that.
She's the cutest. And my wish during that party was, I want to fix. I was pregnant with my daughter. I didn't know I was having a girl at the time, which is wild in itself. But I was like, I really want to mend my relationship with my dad.
Right.
And I don't know how. Because I just felt the anger.
Right.
I felt that same anger that I felt that I was when I was pregnant with my son, and we're talking 11 years later. Like, you know, there had to be some growth. And when I was pregnant with my daughter, he reached out to me a lot, and I wouldn't answer. I wouldn't, because I was just like not in the space of.
You weren't there for forgiveness. Yeah.
I wasn't. I was really, really angry. And then I had my daughter, and I found out that it was a girl at my delivery. We didn't.
We did the same thing.
Oh my God, it's the best.
It is the best.
If you can hold on, do it.
Yes, because that's the only thing that is a surprise in life. We always try to control the outcome for everything. Like, first of all, when the baby came out, they were like, "Oh," the doctor was like, "It's a baby," and my husband's like, "A girl." I was like, "A girl." Because you defied all of the old wives' tales.
Wow.
I wasn't sick, nothing. I had like the perfect pregnancy.
I had no idea what I was having.
Wow.
Like, people, most of my family and friends were like, "Oh, you're totally having a girl." I didn't have like I know it's a girl, or I really had no idea. I think I was just enjoying the experience.
Yeah.
My pregnancy with my daughter was completely beautiful, and just I was really like in my wellness era at that time.
Yes.
Versus with my son, it was not like that. So I was just like relishing in the moment of that. So I had my daughter. A couple months into having my daughter's 6 months old, one of my sisters calls that my dad is not doing well in Dominican Republic, because he had been around from Dominican Republic to Florida. He lived with one of my sisters for some time. And we all together made the decision of sending one of our sisters to bring him here because he was just like not responsive. Like, it just seemed like he was in a trance, like something was really off. And his walking was like really bad a couple weeks prior to that. So we bring him here and we take him directly to Presbyterian.
Wow.
And I remember I walked into the hospital and he was there sitting on the wheelchair, and I was just like, it was so surreal. Because the last memory I have of him was not like that.
Right.
So things went really quickly after
quick,
that.
right?
Super fast. We got a ton of exams done on him. We were very adamant about his care. They explained to us that he might have been suffering from strokes for a while. And just no one noticed.
Wow.
Or it might have been happening in his sleep, but we later found out that he was falling and things of that nature.
But he didn't say anything.
He did.
You know, men.
I mean, I don't think we also too, remember, we weren't super, super close with him in that regard. And my dad was not a man of many words either.
Sure.
I don't think he would have ever felt comfortable saying like, "Hey, I'm sick.
Right.
Like, somebody come help me." I don't think so.
Right.
But we did everything we could. And at the time, I was the only one working from home.
Oh, so you were able to.
Correct. Yeah. So once we started the whole,
was that after, right before COVID?
That was
right before. Right.
So, yeah.
It was like the same year as my brother.
Yeah.
It was the same year. Yeah.
So we start all the caretaking and doing everything we can. I mean, my sisters and I, if we weren't a team the way we were,
right,
I don't know how we would have survived that.
Sure.
I also think that we were able to make very rational and smart and emotionally balanced decisions because of the lack of connection. I think,
right, because instead of making the emotional connect, like, because you know how some people are like, "Oh, but let it," and then he's suffering at the end of the day.
We were just honestly, we were like a committee. Like,
right.
We're like, this is what's going on. This is what the doctors are saying. This is what we need to do. We advocated. I mean, we moved him around. We did so much, and I'm so proud of us.
Right.
I'm so proud of the way we stepped up. Because I can't imagine, God forbid, my mom. I don't know how I would handle it.
No. Liz and I, we've talked about, like, what do we do when it's our mom? I mean, right? Eventually it's going to happen, right? But we're never prepared for that. You're not prepared.
And emotionally, you can't separate.
No.
Right?
No.
So one of the things that I feel that was such a gift of that experience, of it being so radical, was that it forced me to forgive.
Oof.
Like, there was no space for anger.
Yeah.
You can't see someone in that
Vulnerable.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And that helpless.
Sure.
And not feel
Did you say that to him? Over him? Did you say it?
Okay. I didn't verbalize a lot.
Okay.
I didn't. I think we all just were going through the motions.
And getting to business. And then it's like that anticipation, that grief, the anticipatory.
Yes.
Like you're waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Absolutely.
Oh, I know that.
He battled a lot, like, while he was sick. Like, it went downhill pretty fast. And I think it was just very hard to witness someone's life kind of slipping from their fingers, and there was nothing that they could do.
No.
And I can only imagine for him seeing that the people that were surrounding him and taking care of him were his daughters.
Right.
Like, I can't imagine what that must have felt like.
Right.
From a human perspective. Again, not a man of many words.
Right.
But I'm so grateful for all of that.
Right.
It allowed me to get to know my dad.
As a man.
As a man.
Not a father.
Not a father. As a human.
As a human.
I was able to ask him questions about his childhood. I learned that he loved baseball. I learned, so I remembered even memories with him that I had maybe tucked away.
Sure. Because of the anger. The anger is always much more heavier. The negative is always heavier.
And I just got to know him and to love him and to just, I don't know, just love him for himself. Not because he was my dad and it was the right thing to do, but just to love him as a human being. And I was with him every day.
Wow. Every
day, Monday through Friday. My sisters used to shift Saturdays and Sundays. And it was ongoing until the nursing homes got shut down because of COVID. And we could only see him on camera.
Right. And you don't know what's going on with these nurses. Like
we were crazy.
Yeah.
So we would call all day.
Right.
And I think that, and I think the faculty and the establishments really respected us, although they maybe found us very annoying.
Yeah.
Because we were advocating for him. And everything needed to be explained to us.
Right.
Any decision that was being made, any nurse that started helping him, we needed to know. And, we really were very, very present in his care. And I do think that made the difference.
Absolutely. Well, see, that was me with my dad. It was only me. My dad, when he lost his vision, he actually called me. He was like, Jessie, this is it. Wow. This is like the 4th day of when school started.
Wow.
And I was like, I went to Pasquale. I was like, dude, I got to go. He's like, where are you going? I was like, my dad needs me. And he was like, enough said, do what you got to do. Went down to Jersey City. He was like, yeah, I can't see anything. So that it started from there. And then I already came to kind of terms that his health is going to start, right? Because you can't be as active. He was like scutching, you know what I mean? So, so he actually was diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
And again, as fast as it happened, it was as fast as he went, it over time. But during COVID, it was very interesting to see, the shutdown. They barely wanted us there. We had to wear masks. He had to wear, we had to meet outside. Like it was just, it was a lot, but at least we got to see him. We got to spend time with him, but and in the room, you see how when you were like, oh, the hospital, everything shut down. Obviously, this is after COVID. So this was last year. My dad, I had said to him, I was like, I said, I forgive you. You don't have to hold on.
Wow.
And I just kept saying, that to him. I was like, we forgive you. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, you came here from Ghana. You tried to make the best decisions that you could, but you got caught up with, all these fake friends and, just in the lifestyle of, living bougie and we're living in a cot. You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things as we tell you that social media isn't real, but that's a whole other different conversation, right? But you're still trying to keep up with the Joneses, and then you're trying to show that you're doing excellent in America, So it's like, oh, look, I did so well. and you can understand that.
For sure.
But yeah, I just kept saying to him, like, I forgive you. It's all good. But I forgave him when he had lost his vision, but I never verbalized it. That's why I asked you.
Yeah. I think also at that time in my life, I wasn't as open to vulnerability. And I definitely think my daughter just cracked me open,
Kids will do that.
Yeah.
And they will mirror the things that you need to work on immediately. Oh, please.
Oh, yeah.
We could be here for days on that one.
And no, I definitely feel like I didn't have it in me to say the things that I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But I do hope he felt it.
Sure.
And I think me being present, and I had a 6-month-old when I started caring for him. And I was trying to balance.
She was a year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to balance, like, I would take my daughter to daycare, and then I'd run to, he jumped from Presbyteria to Columbia to.
Wow. All over New York.
All over New York. And then and then he would get really bad infections.
Like the sepsis. Yeah.
And he was very resistant to antibiotics. So it was always, and what we learned during that process is when your body's fighting an infection, your brain shuts down.
Yes.
So at that time, he had already been diagnosed with vascular dementia. So it was like somebody turned off the switch. And it was very difficult to navigate through that, because so much happens when a family member is battling dementia.
Right.
And it's really difficult because you don't know who you're going to get.
Right.
You don't know who you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get someone that doesn't want to speak. You don't know if you're going to get an angry person. You don't know if you're going to get someone that doesn't know who you are.
It kind of teeters through like Alzheimer's. Like, I feel like it's like a teeter, because my dad was, he had the dementia, but it was just more because of the vision. I feel like the short-term memory.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was with the dementia.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you bring that up. Now, what did you do to take care of yourself? Like, what are some things, healthy ways, right? Because we can all talk about the negative ways, right?
Of course, yeah.
Drinking and whatever, going out and trying to, but what ways did you kind of help yourself throughout this and even after his death?
Well, I've always really prioritized my morning routine, which I started.
Listen. I've been commenting since day one when you started. Okay, thanks, Steve.
I love my morning routine. I wake up at around 4:30, 5 a.m.
And I used to message you at 5. I'm like, I'm at the gym too, girl. I'm with you.
And my morning routine has looked pretty much the same, and obviously has ebbs and flows depending. But I pray, I journal, I move, I work out, I meditate. So that has always been a staple in my life, no matter where I am or what phase of my life.
Right.
I think what changed for me is that I've always loved movement. At first, when I was younger, selfishly, it was for aesthetics. Right?
Sure.
Like you want to look good, you want to feel good. I also love the challenge of me versus me in a gym.
Oh,
I love.
Don't you love the change?
Oh, I love
it's
that.
Not even the seeing the change. It's like, dang, I didn't know I can do 70s. What am I doing here? I can't lift a 70, but you catch my drift.
It's the place where you get what you put in.
That's
right?
it.
Like, and I love the alone time. I started doing it so early because my son was really little and I couldn't go to a gym. So I started working out in my house. Right. And then that evolved. And I've always been very consistent.
Yeah. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
The word is consistency.
And I noticed as I got older, it was really good for my mental health. It helped me with my anxiety. It just was like my place, my sanctuary. And I think what's changed after my dad's passing is that health to me is now longevity.
Yes.
I want to live a very long and healthy life.
Yep.
As much as I can control, because of course, only God knows.
That's right.
And I just think about my children. I think about my children.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So how was the relationship? Like, how did forgiveness, change you as a mom and even with your children? How did that look for you? Like, how did it look
I
like?
apologize. Easily.
That ego.
I am a Dominican through and through.
Yes. Mira que lo que, mi prima.
And what your mom says is what your mom says. Un cocotazo. I'm definitely a gentle parent, but I think what I learned is like, well, one, I tell my son, I'm like, listen, I've done the best I can, but if you need to go talk to somebody about the shit I do, please do.
Yeah.
Please
Absolutely.
do, because I am a human,
That's it.
and I'm sure I've made plenty of mistakes.
As we all do.
And I just never want you to feel like you got to hold that.
But as long as you have that, right? Like you can say that to him, like, I'm only human. I'm only can do that. You have that same forgiveness for your parents because they did the best that they can do with the stuff that they had. And you can't hold them accountable. Now, if they start to, now we're getting to kind of therapy a little bit, but when you say like it's starting to become like verbal abuse and like there's like boundaries being crossed and stuff like that, then okay, like you kind of put your boundaries up. But just to have that forgiveness, once you start to see them as their own identity, like, okay, this is my mom. This is like even my mom. This is Marie. This is who she is. I'm not going to change her, right? That's another thing. You can't change them.
You can't change it. So I think also what allowed me to heal that part of my father wound was getting to know my dad as a human being and understanding, from the stories that he shared with me about his childhood and just things he would say. It made me understand him.
Right.
And it made me really get that it was nothing against me.
Nope. It was all on him.
It's all,
and they have their own trauma.
Correct. And it again humanized
it
for me.
That's it.
And you can't forgive someone until you understand that they're human.
That's right.
And they were literally doing the best that they could. And the same thing goes with my mom. My mom was so graceful throughout that experience with me, and she always spoke nothing but good things about my dad.
Sure.
Even if I went to her and I was like in a vetting, she was like, "That's your dad. That is your dad. You respect him.
That's it."
And I have so much respect for her because of that. And even my sister's mom too, they did an amazing job in raising us and teaching us to do what is right.
Right. Yeah.
Because it would have been easier to turn a blind eye.
Easy.
To just be like, well, figure it out.
Right.
And we stepped up and we truly, we did amazing things. Yeah. And I know he listened.
I'm so proud of you. I mean, listen, we go back. Me and C go back. We go back to those hallways. We go back to French fries and mayo, girl. And chips on bagels, like, and across the street, Bagel Smashery. Like we go back to the Chamac days. But just to wrap it up, what ways do you honor your dad still? Like, how do you keep his legacy going, if you do?
Well, the crazy thing is that I feel my dad more than ever.
That's what Anderson Cooper was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know did you catch his interview? He's like, I feel like I know my dad more that he's passed than when he was alive.
Yeah. So I don't know where I got this from, but when he passed, and my little sister was there in my house with me, my sister from my mom's side, a rainbow covered my entire kitchen. And I was just like, wow. And then I started finding hearts.
Everywhere. I love that.
And I love for my birthday this year.
Listen, don't tell me about signs. I'm a big sign girl.
I love signs.
Me too.
I think they're out there if you're
in the space.
If you're in the space to receive them. So I feel more connected to him and his memory.
Sure.
Than I did when he was alive. And I think the ways that I continue to honor him and his legacy is being the best mom I can be.
That's it.
And talking to my children about him, showing them pictures and health.
Yeah. Take care of your health.
Taking care of myself, trying to be an
But even your son, too, like for males, they also have to take care of their health. I feel like males, they kind of neglect themselves and then they go into a bubble and they just don't take care of themselves. So.
They don't. And I think that I learned that, too, from my dad, that, men suffer in silence.
Sure they do.
And
they sure do.
I still don't know, 100% of what went on in his life, but I know that I hope, because we also said the same thing to him the day he passed, like, we forgive you. You can go.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to hold on anymore.
You don't have to hold on. And he didn't.
Don't be in pain.
And he didn't. He let go that day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And my co-host, Ciara, that 1-2 step girl. Always with the ridiculousness, right? As always with me. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can find this episode on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube. I said YouTube, Instagram. So just gave you all the social media platforms that we're on. And we're so grateful for this community. And thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing ways that other people can really be healthy in their grief.
Yes.
Then thank you so much.